Hello, everyone, and welcome to my new channel, Empress Leo Tarot. I'm so excited to have you all in one place. I have a lot of very spiritual friends and, people that are acquaintances that are interested in this kind of thing, and I never get to talk to them all in one place. So that's my goal here, is to help people find alignment with their true soul's purpose and bring healing to their mind, body, and soul. And I have learned some things along the way that help me to trust my own intuition, and I want to share those things with you. And then I'd like to have a little fun with it also. Maybe someday we'll have a dance party since I was a dancer, and or a costume party since I was a show producer. But I'm going to bring you a lot of good info on how to align your chakras, how to meditate, maybe some myths about tarot that I can debunk. That's going to be my next video. But to start off with, I wanted to talk about this huge shift in energy that's happening between 2020 and now. We all felt it obviously last year, and one of the reasons why is that it was a rare year in which the planetary alignments were not only super powerful and strong, but they were actually aligned with the man-made calendar. So basically, January 1st to December 31st, astrologers saw coming 10 years before. They had no idea why it was going to be so intense. They had no idea it was COVID, but they knew something big was happening in 2020. And it just so happened that there was a dramatic shift on the first of the year and at the end of the year. So basically 2020 was the year of what we would call in the tarot, like the tower. So you can think about like when the Twin Towers came down, it's like sudden devastation. Everything's torn to the ground. Everything that you knew before is gone. And this happens so that we can rebuild better. But at the time, it just looks like a freaking disaster, basically. And we all know it was a shit show year. So now, though, the tower's upside down. It's already fallen. We can feel that shift at the end of the year. We know that the worst is behind us, but we know that we're going to rebuild. I mean, many of us, including myself, we looked at who was around us, right? Is this the person I want to be with? Is this the job I want to be in? These are the people I want to surround myself with. Is this where I want to live? That's the kind of stuff that the tower makes you think, big, deep life decisions you have to make. The other thing it did was, it was about Saturn and Jupiter coming together in a conjunction that hasn't happened in 600 years. So the last time that happened, it was the bubonic plague going on. So like COVID, just a devastating, time where everything is seeming pretty dark, right? But one other thing that happens when Saturn, which is the planet of constriction, meets Jupiter, the planet of action, they were in the sign of Aquarius for the first time in 600 years since that happened. And they also just being together as the end of a karmic cycle that was 20 years old. So if you think about where you were 20 years ago in your life, the lessons you've learned, what you started then to where you are now. For me, I was graduating high school and going to college and starting my whole journey with dance and the arts and eventually moving to New York. So I can look back at that time and see how much I've learned. So if you think back to where you were 20 years ago, you might start to see some cycles coming back around, maybe some people from that time that you're reconnecting to, or lessons that you're learning that you're now more aware of. And that's because those planets are bringing a karmic return from a karmic cycle that you could have put in place 20 years ago. So sometimes karma takes a long time. This was a big one. So making you notice just chapters in your life. So that's the Wheel of Fortune. That means it's destined to happen. It's destined to come around, but it's upside down. And that's what you're going to see here towards the end of the year is you might have old lovers coming back, or, people that did you wrong, and you're able to see that clearly now. Or maybe you're leaving a job that's no longer good for your soul, or you're starting to see bad karma return to people that haven't done right, and good karma starting to come in abundance starting to flow to people that are doing right. So towards the end of the year, we start to see the Justice. So I could have pulled that card too, but Justice is another card that restores order in the universe. The other card, obviously, that we have for 2020 is the Hermit, because we were sort of forced into isolation, which would be more like the Hermit being upside down. But because of that, we have had a lot of reflection and deep insight that's come out of that year. Now, here at the beginning of 2021, I pulled 3 cards that I think exemplify the energy going into this next year. And the first card I thought of was the Star card, which is all about hope and healing and moving on to something better, which if you look at my Instagram, I'm going to pull a card every day. And today I got the Alice in Wonderland card from Divine Circus Oracle, which is obviously about, it feeling sort of like uncharted territory. It's exciting, but it's a little scary and unknown because we're going down this rabbit hole we haven't been down before. So that's the energy I'm getting at the beginning of the year. And also it's bringing in a lot of inspiration with Ace of Rods, because having all that, clutter removed, is, yes, last year was also about purging anything, clutter in your home, clutter in your life, friends around that really don't have your best interests, or partners that, aren't right. So now we're going to naturally get a new inspiration for something better in this year. And that's going to lead to the Fool card. And the Fool in the Tarot is number 0. So it's the very beginning of a journey. It's going to feel like we're taking a whole new fresh start already. I think you can feel it at the beginning of the year. It just feels better already, right? And we're going to have new beginnings coming in. We're going to have new fresh changes, new people coming into your life, new situations. And that's just where we're at. Not only, does the Fool represent a new year, I know they always say new year, new you, but this is like a new you haven't even met yet. This is a totally new vibe that you might not even really be ready for, but it still feels kind of exciting and scary at the same time. So anyway, that's just an overview of the shift in energy between 2020 and 2021. Keep an eye on my channel this week because I'm going to post an overview of horoscopes for each sign for 2021, so you can kind of know what to expect. And then I am going to open up for personal readings. So if you'd like a personal reading about a situation in your life, or just general where you are right now, or have a specific question, you can reach out to me at empressleotarot@gmail.com. And that's always on my discussion tab, the options for that. So look forward to connecting with all of you this year.